Hi there and welcome to the Free Art Show, the show where I draw whatever you want and release it for free use. With me, I'm Kim Holm, and with me is my lovely wife Beanie.
Aya.
Aya, as we say.
Why.
And today we have picked 6 requests. And we will roll the dice, and whoever gets his request drawn will win this postcard, the intro card. And will get their art drawn.
Is this number 8? Is this show number 8?
I think it's number 7.
And why did you make an 8?
I made a... Ooh, good point. It's not an 8, it's an Ouroboros.
Okay. It could have been a 0 then.
No, that's not the symbol.
It could have had many different shapes, but
I feel like you're just making fun of me. It's a perfectly normal symbol.
No, I am making fun of you.
Yes. Okay, shall we go through the suggestions? Mm-hmm. First, we have Robert II. We have 2 Roberts, but luckily one of them was called Robert II. Or some middle names in between that. So
it's the name, that's not the request.
No. And he wants me to paint an unidentified flying object on one of my seascape oil paintings. So just to please him, I've picked out an already dry seascape, and if he wins, then we'll have to clear out all this drawing equipment and get the oils out. And then we will do the first free art oil painting.
Will that also be sent out for €100, including shipping?
No, that will probably have shipping. Yes, because you can claim the drawing and purchase it for €100, including shipping. Except if it's the oil painting, then that will require shipping, I think. Anyhow, that is suggestion number 1. Suggestion number 2 is from FNAF Drawing, who wants a maniacal Joker-like demon. And it's interesting because I can't do copyrighted characters like the Joker, but in this instance I think I can do a Joker-like demon because it's a sort of a state of mind we're going for. We're not going to copy the Joker, but we're going to try to bring the essence of the Joker into a demonic character. And that's okay. And number 3.
The essence of the Joker is Cheshire cat.
The Cheshire cat, yeah. And I can draw the Cheshire cat, I think. Because I think that's in the public domain.
You can, as long as you don't base it on Disney.
Yes. Then it would have to be a parody. The copyright laws are complicated on those points. But parody is allowed. And this complication is actually not why I'm against the copyright laws. Because there should be some complication, but there should also be room for art to live, and living art gets remade. Then number 3 we have Rasvan, which is a funny name in Norwegian. But I don't think it's a Norwegian name, who wants me to draw Atlas, the Titan, carrying a broken world upon his shoulders. That fits well into the Greek theme we have been going with for a little while. And then Jimmy wants me to draw the Norwegian giant of theatre, Henrik Ibsen, as he would look if he was from Innsmouth, the fishy city of Lovecraftian lore. And then we have Kaja, who wants me to draw a warrior standing above his enemy, who's slumped together, and his head is split, and a raven is picking the skull, or the brain from the skull. And that's nice and lovely for a Tuesday night. And then, finally, we have Robert, the other Robert, who just wants a battle of clowns. Shall we see if shall we see who wins? Here is the dice. And I'm rolling it. And... ooh! It's the UFO.
Oh.
Then we have to...
There it is.
yeah, we have to...
Congratulations, Robert 2.
yeah. Robert 2, you have to contact us so we can send this to you. And we will take away all the acrylic and ink equipment. And we will put this
It doesn't
here.
help to write number 7 then there when you've done a huge number 8.
Let it go. Let it go. I will not start singing Let It Go.
Have you told people about this?
About what?
This oily thingy of yours?
No, I haven't really... I have talked about it. I've started painting oil paintings. And trying to learn... yeah, learn the craft of painting. And sort of the only angle from which I could learn it was through...
Are you certain you have enough brushes?
What are you talking about? I might have enough brushes. So the only angle from which I could learn painting, I found out, was to dive in the deep end with oil painting. And that painting is so big that you actually won't see
The whole thing?
you'll see the whole thing, I think. It looks like it's just where it should be. But you won't see the color mixing. And there will be more color mixing than usual.
Can't you mix on top here? And at least Facebook viewers can see it.
Yeah, I can do that. That's a good idea.
I'm filled of them, with them.
You're filled of good ideas. Okay. Then the YouTube viewers will only see my arm stretching up to mix colors. And see what I've done here. Here is some old oil from last week, which I've just mixed together to make this one red grey and this one blue grey. And here are some oils from earlier today when I was working on another painting. So I'll just use that as the basis, so I won't have to mix all that much.
What can I do?
What can you do?
I don't know. Do you need this?
I don't need any of those anymore.
This?
I need that, yes.
But not this.
No.
Okay. Some brushes there.
Okay, we're just about ready. Oh, I don't even know how I am going to tackle this. This was a poorly planned stroke of luck. Yeah. But what I'll start by doing is getting some more color. Ha ha ha.
That's a huge paint.
Look at my huge paint tube. Yeah, I should really buy more of these big ones because.
You prefer the Van Gogh?
No, I haven't painted long enough to figure out what I prefer. But okay, how to do this? But I'm trying out different types of paints and hoping it goes well. Now I'll start by having some. I'll need my Phthalo blue, which is a really, really dark blue. And I need my burnt umber, which will together make as close as you get to black. And then I'll make it. This is painted without black.
Okay,
So if I if I started using black, then the UFO would crash. And I'm taking a bit of thinner on the brush, very unscientific of me, and I'm mixing them, and I'll dot in the UFO. Should it be in the opening here? Should it be a tiny UFO in here? Or should it come down like this? Or should it be up here? Then we have a problem. I'm thinking about the composition. I'm thinking this is the clouds opening, and they should really open for the UFO, right?
Yes, maybe. But I also don't. I kind of like the idea of the UFO being higher up.
Yeah, compositionally that's better.
Yes, because it just seems off for it to be so far down. It was a really cloudy day.
I just have to commit.
Wait a minute, I have an idea.
Okay. You mean my Nemo? Let me see. Let me look.
Yeah, sure.
We're all waiting in excitement for whatever you are doing.
For my brilliant idea.
Yes. Ooh! There's the UFO. Now it can be there.
Stand up a bit and look at it from afar.
That's not good.
No.
And it can be here. That's a bit weird as well.
Mark Garcia says some UFOs hide in the clouds. It doesn't have to stick out. It could be just about to appear.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Mm. It's coming out here. There's already a UFO shape that I need to break a bit. And it's coming out there.
I helped.
Thanks for being helpful. So these clouds are in front and this is in the back of the UFO. And it's a very classic.
Mark does see as a brilliant idea.
The post-it
I don't
UFO?
know if it's the post-it the UFO or if it's the suggestion. I am taking it as the post-it UFO.
It's a big UFO, this.
Mm-hmm.
So it's...
It's going to terrify a fat cow.
Yes.
Or maybe us.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
And then we need to... This is enough for me to go on as a sketch.
He says that cutout was an awesome idea. Way to go! Thank you!
The thing with oil is that it won't dry for like a week or two. And while it's wet, it's really slippery. So it's you can almost push it around. And
Can you dry it off if you don't like it?
yes, I can dry it off, but it will leave stains on the... It's easier to dry it off when everything is wet, because then you can dry it off and then you can push the other oil back.
Oh.
Somewhat. But to do it like this, I don't know how it will work if I dry it off. Yeah. I need we need to have a bit of color, and we need to have a color that isn't used elsewhere, I think. So there's very little green. We'll green out the white a bit, and then we'll have some yellow from the sun in places as well.
So Kim is attempting to make a UFO to merge a UFO into his own
seascape painting.
Mm-hmm. Of the people on the other side of the fjord.
Yes. That's exactly it.
Mm-hmm.
This is the view from our window, more or less. I painted it in the garden, but it's the same view as from our window, and it's the people at the other side of the fjord. It's not Frekkaøy, it's actually Askøy.
Oh.
Usk is the territory here, I think.
Mm.
So, we need to keep it loose, like the rest. I'm realizing that this is going to be really hard.
It is. You don't really like doing the mechanical things.
No.
Do you?
I hate doing the mechanical things.
They're so straight, and Kim really hates straight lines.
I hate all manners of straightness.
I think you can do it still.
It is very much a classic UFO, and we will try to hide it a bit more. We will paint the skies over it a bit more. Why did I put this one? Why did I put this one on?
It's interesting.
It is. Now I'm going to mix some oil into it, because there's this, when working in oil, there is this fat over lean rule, which is kind of confusing because it's not just fat over lean.
I have no idea what you mean with that.
The more oil, the more fat it is.
Over lean?
The less oil, the more lean it is. So
the less oil, then you can have thinner lines. Is that what you're trying to say?
No, if you have a lean painting, the fat oil will stick to the layer. It will not just...
Can I try moving the light a bit?
Yeah, try.
I'm feeling it's really reflecting.
Yeah, okay.
Is that better?
That looks better. The oil paint is also really reflective when it's wet, so sometimes it's just really hard to paint with it at all. But fat paint will stick to lean paint. Thin paint will stick to thick paint. And if you do it in the wrong order, the painting will crack. The paint will crack because the paint underneath will dry later than the paint above, so it will crack the
so if you use
top layer.
Oil first and then...
So if you use it in the wrong order, then your painting might just crack.
How much is one of these tubes thingies?
It depends on the pigment and on the quality. I thus far have only bought student quality, which has less pigment in it. So so this one is about 200-300, I guess, and
that's not too bad.
But a quality pigment, or like
a real one,
a red one, would perhaps be 500.
Oh, is the red more expensive than the white?
Yes, some pigments are cheaper. That's why when you ask me how much the golden acrylic is, this one is 200 kroners, and this one is almost 400 kroners.
Oh, that's silly.
Not really, because
I understand it, but I think it's still a bit silly.
It's what the materials cost. Painting a bit too much now, and I hope I can tone it down afterwards. Just peering out from the clouds, and it should have a silly little
Tree.
not a tree, a rocket engine blast or something.
Some yellow.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
red.
Definitely. So we need to do that in some other colors. I will start by having a pink. I don't often buy individual colors except the primary ones, but I've found that a few colors are hard to get, like a nice saturated pink or...
so you can't... it is difficult to mix?
Yeah.
That's what you mean? Is there a reason you don't close them properly, or is it just because you're you?
It's just because I'm me, baby.
Will they dry out?
This
expensive paint of yours.
Please close them properly for me. I thought you knew me better than this. Now he's making some... Putting some red on some of the clouds as well. Oh, that's not good.
Oh. What did you do? Oh, I like that.
Yeah, but this one wasn't bad. Ah, I got it off. Now I've learned that.
Mark Garcia says, the movie Arrival had a big block as a UFO, and Babylon 5 had many different ship designs, like the spiny organic shadow ship. So maybe you can design something without so much mechanical work.
Yeah, that would be great for another day. Now I have a completely different struggle, which is just surviving.
This painting session.
Yes.
Did you need more yellow?
I will need more yellow, yes.
Because see, here's yellow.
No, I'll need the light yellow. That's another one I bought especially just to try out, because I can get... This is just mixed yellow. I can get them kind of good, but I wanted to see...
Ochre.
Yeah, I don't need yellow ochre for this one. But thank you for going through all the colors and showing them off camera and asking about them.
Yes, I will do that.
Oh.
Why does this pink thingy...
Why the pink thingy?
Says permanent on it. Is it just because of the label of the brand?
No,
it's not.
All of them have different types of names based on different elements, and I'm not certain about any of it yet. I know that if, for instance, this one says cadmium yellow pale hue. Whenever it says hue, it's because it doesn't have cadmium in it, which is good because you shouldn't eat cadmium. And I might have...
Oh, people lick their brushes.
Yeah, so...
We've
so,
talked about this.
Yeah. So,
what is the point of such a brush?
Okay, what's the point of this?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's really good for doing straight lines.
Mm-hmm. But isn't...
No.
A straight one?
This will split much less when you drag it. You're dragging it at an angle, and it will do that very, very well. And
Mark Garcia is laughing at you.
He's laughing at you.
No, he would never do that.
Hmm?
Well, I like this. I like the coloring. Maybe that's really the... Very often our sunsets are very red and beautiful. Maybe they're really just UFOs, you know?
It's worse than that. It's the pollution from the UFOs.
UFOs don't pollute.
Oh, yes.
Electric. I don't know. They run on water power. I don't know.
They come to steal our water. Yes.
Mm-hmm. the planet no more.
And then we will need... No, actually, I'll go through with this one a bit more. I will oil it out a bit.
What are you doing?
Now?
Oil it out. It's oil. That is oil.
This is oil and thinner mixed, but mostly oil.
Okay.
It's like...
You're pointing at something out of camera for everyone.
This is oil and thinner. It's 70% oil and 30% thinner.
Is it a special oil?
Linseed oil, so that you can actually eat. It's healthy for you.
Is that you
And
buy
this
that
is
at an
this
art
is-
shop, or can you buy it in a shop?
No, you buy it at an art shop because it needs to be.
It's a particular kind of artsy, fartsy. You don't put it in a salad.
You asked me a question, and I'm trying to explain. This is thinner, and you should not eat that. The linseed oil needs to be refined in a special way, which I don't know much about, but you can do it yourself. And I know that people have done it by some sort of process of putting it out in bottles and in the sunlight and letting it separate, and then something to that extent. Don't quote me on that.
Gary Shiloh says, eating paint?
Don't eat paint.
It's very expensive for the first.
And some of the paints are really harmful. You can get proper cadmiums, which is not good for you. And you can get you can even get lead paint, which I'm very interested in trying someday.
It's not very poisonous, not just to eat.
Lead is very poisonous, also to just touch. But
So, considering how your hands look after you paint,
then I would paint with gloves. Yes. But lead white has some properties that titanium white doesn't have. So it's different to work with, and it doesn't yellow. So when you see a painting from the Renaissance and the white is still just crisp and good, it means the artist died young of lead poisoning. It looks weird.
upside down it looks good.
Excellent. So, having some problems seeing here, so just the concentration I use for this, I notice, is much more than for my regular ink work, and still the result is so sloppy. Sloppy, very sloppy.
So what would your aliens look like?
They, in this vessel, they would look silly. This is your typical grey aliens, I think.
Why grey? Aren't they green?
Yes, this is your typical little green man, I meant. I was referring to our most regular visitors to planet Earth, the Greys.
Oh.
You know, the X-Files. Did you see the X-Files, dear wife?
I did, but that is many, many years ago.
Okay, do you know the grey aliens with big heads and big eyes?
Yeah, but aren't they greenish?
No, they're grey. They are called the Greys.
Okay, I don't remember that.
I don't think that's a specific name to the X-Files, but...
I have a song in my head now, and I think it's a mix of the X-Files theme and the Airwolf.
That sounds excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Airwolf theme. How was that again?
I do not remember. And I can't really replicate what's in my head either. Nice.
I'm having the A-Team theme. Yes. Which is not fitting for... For painting a UFO. That doesn't work at all.
How is the X-Files theme? It seems wrong.
Something. Just know that the truth is out there.
And how is the Airwolf theme?
I don't know.
The A-Team alien team, says Michael Sia.
Yes.
Mr. T is a bit of an alien. Maybe that's why he won't fly. Go to school forward. Did he actually say that?
Probably in some... He did.
Janne Våge Battle said, "Man, I missed it." You haven't missed anything. The UFO is... I don't know how done it is.
No, I don't know either. I think actually the...
It's a UFO. Kim is painting a UFO on one of his oil landscapes.
Janne had a great suggestion this week, which was to my own take on Geiger's return to Mother. Yeah, H.R. Geiger. Giger. The alien guy, yeah? And just a small joke for all those Norwegians. Jeg mente at det ikke var min egen versjon av Giger sitt Return to Mother, men det var min versjon av Gigers versjon av Jan Eggums Mor, jeg vil tilbake. Badam, psh.
Oh yes, til litt myke, varme indre.
I don't know what... But I didn't dare put it on.
Janne says, hi Martha. But this is Kim.
Just a hint of the sunlight hitting it, and then on the other side a hint of lighter blue, and then we will try to mix that and that color just to overlap it slightly.
I like it.
Well, you often like silly things.
Yes, I like you.
Yes, good point. Touché. This is too dark. Still a bit dark. Maybe some more red in it. Pretty spot on. Yeah, not spot on.
Det er akryl du måler med, hva spør Janne?
I'm painting with oil, not acrylic, so that's what making this extra hard. If it was acrylics, I could just wait a few minutes and it would dry and I could do whatever I wanted on top.
But this won't be dry till next week.
No. Well, it's hard. I need some reddish.
I really like the colors now.
Thank you. Since I'm already touching this up, I can go and try to make a few of the shapes a bit clearer. Yeah, that's good. Which also will help hide the small color variation stemming from that I haven't spent quite enough time mixing the perfect colors to match what I had. Yes, I'm liking this better and better. It's very silly.
It's not. It's awesome. What do you use? Linseed oil, turpentine?
I don't use turpentine. I use odorless mineral cleaner that is not based on gasoline or turpentine.
But you said you use linseed oil.
Yeah, I use linseed oil and a thinner.
Oh, the thinner is could have been turpentine.
Yeah,
but turpentine, that's really poisonous.
Yes, and that used to be.
We have a 3-year-old who likes to eat
Turpentine. Don't let him eat turpentine.
Hey. I've done worse. Why are you doing that?
Naively, I'm waiting for some of the paint to settle a bit more.
Mm-hmm.
So I can paint over just to get some more shapes in there. And I'm also just trying to improve some of the clarity in the painting, because I'm not satisfied with all the parts. Especially some of the sort of hazy clouds don't look quite right. Though that looks wrong. That was just wrong.
So what else are you going to do with the UFO?
I'm not certain how much I can do, because now there's so many layers of oil on it already that it's hard to paint on it until it's dry. So
could you have the oh, I'm sorry. Could you have used acrylic to do this on top of the oil?
Oil can stick to acrylic, but acrylic does not stick to oil.
Okay.
So you can, as long as you don't do too much acrylic, so it becomes really slick, it's no problem doing an underpainting in acrylic and then oil on top. But
the other way around is just wrong.
Yeah, that doesn't.
Clouds and hands, the artist's Achilles heel, says Diana.
I think. Okay, these are not my best clouds. That was a rude thing to say. I think I do okay clouds these days.
But your hands are silly in this painting.
Yes. We'll take a kind of big brush and we'll just go over some. And
no, in general, kind sir, says Janne. She's not dissing your clouds. Just all artists, random artists' clouds.
One of the things I'm really digging now is that since it's dry, I can go in and do dry brushing, which is one of the techniques that I use a lot in acrylics and in ink. I almost never get to do it.
Oh, I like your clouds now.
They're much clearer now. They're not perfect, but they're better. Okay, and then we will replicate that.
It is very different to see the real painting from here. I'm watching him upside down. Yes. And on the little screen. Mike wants to know, do you ever use a palette knife or for sharp lines?
Yes.
I've never gotten the hang of the palette knife.
At home I have the cheap plastic palette knives, which works great for me, and I actually think that the C here was primarily a palette knife, just above. Very much almost a Bob Ross technique.
You love the Bob.
I do love the Bob. I still haven't gotten further than painting one Bob Ross painting, but I will soon paint more. That did not help. That did not help at all. I'm wondering what I'm doing wrong. And it has all to do with the colors. So I need to yep. That can work. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Make this into a separate cloud formation. And then we need to separate that cloud from that cloud, which we will do by, this goes a bit green, so that will go a bit more red.
The sky green.
Slightly. Just ever so slightly.
Huh. Who knew?
Well, going back to this, then we're putting more blue. even more blue. Too much blue. Too much blue.
You really should show them your mixing.
Yes, it's very chaotic now. It's all grays. Oh, like the aliens.
Yes, honey. The aliens are grey.
Yeah, I'm fucking this up royally.
Are you doing too much?
Yes, I am. I should have just went like this and left it.
Don't do it. Yeah, you should have. But it's too late now, baby.
All the free art shows should just be me copying my wife's art.
Yes,
really?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is
Is it wrong?
yeah, everything is wrong.
So what you're gonna do?
I'm gonna try to make it better.
Okay.
Never in a free art show has so little happened in so much time. Usually we're very efficient. But not today.
I thought this was gonna be easy. I thought this was going to go fast.
Yeah.
I thought wrong.
Oh yes, you did.
Janne says, I really wish we could get some aliens on our little planet, but sadly, no.
Yeah. I think there's yeah, this is okay, I'll try to save it again by finding the tiny little brush. And this cloud here is just... Yes, the clouds are the bane of the artist. Yeah. I know what I'm doing wrong, but I don't know if I can fix it.
Are you going to make some lights on it? Some red dots, lights? No, don't do that. Don't listen to me.
I'm going to take away all the paint here. Oh. And then a tiny part, we're just gonna add some thinner. And then we're gonna repaint that area.
Which area?
The one that I erased. And with the cloud here. And I need some pink. So,
is that an oil brush?
yes, that was
on
an
my
oil
floor?
brush. It's easy to clean up for another week or so. It was just this one. So, we'll try to do some that. Pink. And my head is spinning a bit. That was And then I think we will do just what you asked, dear wife.
Lights.
Lights.
Yes, any UFO worth its salt has lights.
Yes.
Blinking lights.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they're so visible. You don't have to listen to me.
With red lights.
Is it that? Red lights.
Mm. Mm. And use a couple more in here. Move that light slightly down.
Now it looks like a UFO.
Then we need some yellow.
You dripped on your painting.
I dripped on my painting. Don't drip on my painting.
You dripped over there as well.
Where?
I don't know. Did you or didn't you?
No.
No.
Maybe. This is, I think it's the first time I'm painting oil on a flat surface. Not on an easel or a drawing table.
Is it more difficult?
It's interesting. This is more difficult because the natural thing is to put your hands all over the painting, and you can't do that. Okay, so now we need a dark color again. We'll fake in some details here. It's too blue. Jeez.
Louise.
Jeez Louise.
I'm thinking you're gonna have to be done pretty soon.
Yes. I'm trying. I'm trying. How long have we gone?
No, it's 22:24.
Yeah, so we've been going for a long time.
Almost 90 minutes.
Yeah, I think I'll leave it very soon, and maybe I'll fix it some more later. But I've learned that oil
painting
on the free art show is difficult. It's a worthwhile experience. Stuff. Yeah, I think I'll leave it there. This one will not be available for sale.
My says wet on wet is tricky.
Oh yes. And wet on dry is tricky.
What were you saying, dear husband?
This one will not be available for sale just yet, but I will try to finish it another day. I hope you still liked watching.
Janne says, wife has a very nice voice.
Wife is a very nice wife.
Oh, I have a very nice wife.
Yes, I have a very nice wife.
Okay, then. You have a very nice wife.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
She's the nice...
Jan says, the reflection from your lamp is hitting just where you're working just now.
Oh, yes it is. But that's another problem with...
Wet on wet?
With oil. I don't think you can even...
Do you see anything now? Always entertaining and educational, says Mike Garcia.
Thank you, Mike. Okay. This was...
Do you see the UFO now? Yes, now you see it properly. It's better.
This was an experiment. I'm not sure it was an experiment worth repeating, but if you like my art, then please do go to YouTube and follow me there. And you can also follow Den Unge Herrholm on Facebook, Den Unge Herrholm on Twitter, Den Unge Herrholm on Instagram, and Den Unge Herrholm on minds.com. We will be back.
He sees the UFO now.
Yeah. We will be back in a few days with another free art show, probably this weekend. We were very late this time. We will try not to be this late again. Hope you enjoyed it. I'm all spent. Cheerio.
Cheerio.
Bye-bye.